Hi, my name is Irma Villegas, and the topic I picked, the article I picked was anxiety disorders. I feel like, in a way, people should be informed about this topic because there are many anxiety disorders, not just one where one is like really nervous about speaking about something, but there's a lot of things that come into that whole thing. Um, so one of the main ones is generalized anxiety disorder. That's when someone gets nervous, starts sweating, stuttering. So like in a way, they're like they're very nervous to speak in public or even speaking to somebody because in a way they might be antisocial. They tend to not go out a lot. They tend to not like speak to people. They don't like to go out in public and talk to people. They don't like to give out speeches, stuff like that. So that's more of like a generalized um, disorder. Another one is the phobias. So there's many phobias out there where like people like are scared of small spaces. That's claustrophobia. And then there's one where like they're scared of spiders, rodents, and all that stuff. And that one's called let me see, Ophidiophilia. Yeah. So like it's that, and then some people are scared of heights. Some people are just scared of things, and that's when like it's a phobia, like they're scared of something. um and another one is a panic disorder. That's when like say someone gives a speech and like they're really super nervous, and like they start kind of like not breathing, and like their chest is like really tight, and like they can barely breathe, and like they start like kind of like sweating, looking around. um so in a way that's kind of like a phobia. They like so it can actually be like it can be, I would say, misinterpreted as a mini heart attack, which is not. It's in a way, it's not. Usually, when like someone has like a panic attack, they like tend to get all like super exhausted, and literally like those last about like the exhaustion lasts a lot. It lasts about like a week or so. So it's kind of exhausting having one of those. Um, Another one is obsessive compulsive disorder. That's when someone has to touch like something. So like say I have that light switch, right? And I every time I come through it, I have to like at least touch it 7 to 8 times. And it's like I every time I come through, so like I go to the kitchen and I have to touch it, and I come back and I have to touch it another 7 times. So it's like every time I go back and forth, I have to touch it 7 times. Or like people that have to wash their hands so many times, or people that have to, I don't know, clean their face more than 7 times. It's just like a obsessive compulsive disorder. They have to do it repeatedly in order for them to be a little more satisfied. Another one is post-traumatic stress disorder. So that's when like someone, so let's say like a Vietnam veteran. They actually went through kind of like a traumatizing event. So in a way, it brought them stress. So it's like it's scary for them because they always they tend to, how can I put it? They tend to bring the stress onto themselves only because they remember those traumatic events. So in a way, it's kind of like they develop it while in war, and they go through that event basically. And many, actually, women go through it more than men. and it's pretty scary because women are more emotional to it. They tend to cry, or because they have a lot more hormones than men, obviously. Another one is, oh well, oh well, that's, I think that's the last one. So in a way, that's like, there's many disorders like just depression, or like mood disorders, bipolar. Some, like, a lot of people have many disorders, and so in a way, it's kind of like many people aren't aware of it, and it's pretty scary because many people tend to make fun of people that are like, "Oh, you're depressed." Like, no, that's not something to make fun of. It's a serious thing, you know. So when I surveyed these articles, in a way, I kind of thought about it, and like, I know a lot of people that go through these disorders, and it's not something, it's really common when you know someone that has like these type of disorders, only because, like, in a way, I'm a social person, and I like to speak to people, and I like to get to know them and know what they went through and stuff. The questions I formed was like, how do people develop these? How many people actually get these disorders? So yeah, and it's like, it's pretty scary to me. It's like, to be honest with you, I've actually fallen into depression, and it's a scary thought, because like, it's like, I don't want to get up from bed, you know, like, how do they feel? How do people feel with these disorders? And yes, in a way, I found my answers. And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but women actually develop these disorders more than men. So men are like more of like a manly type of thing, where it's like, oh, well, I don't have feelings, you know. Well, that's how I think about it. And it's like, women are more of like, we're sensitive, you know. We're like, oh, well, I'm depressed, you know. Like, some people actually admit it, that they're depressed. So like, the answers were more of like a general thing, where more people would actually like, I don't know how to put it into detail, but it's more of like, not kind of like a how can you fix it thing, because there's nothing, only the only way you can actually fix something is to go to therapy. In a way, that's how I see it. So yeah. And how I reviewed the article was by reading through it, and just kind of like developing, kind of like thinking about some answers, and how, because I've done research about like a couple of these actually, and I've written papers on them, and so in a way, it's kind of like more thorough for me. So yeah, thank you.